Tell me if this feels familiar. White walls, harsh overhead lighting, a gray couch that you bought because it was neutral and you didn't trust your taste yet. There's technically nothing wrong with this room. It's not broken, it's not offensive, and it's not necessarily ugly, but it's also not true. It doesn't feel like it belongs to anybody in particular. It feels like you could move out tomorrow and the room would just reset immediately. Basically as if you never even existed inside of it in the first place. If you don't know, my name is Cooper, and of course today we're going to be talking about how to upgrade your rental. Homeowners often think that they don't have taste yet, and renters are taught that they aren't allowed to have taste at all. They're taught to wait, to pause, to not get attached or not invest too deeply, not customize too much, and not make anything too permanent. And that signal doesn't just affect your walls, it affects how safe you feel to root yourself literally anywhere. Because renting is not just a financial arrangement, it's a psychological condition. We're socialized to believe that ownership equals legitimacy, that performance equals worth, and that customization will equal arrival. That once you buy something, your life will finally begin. Then you get to make it beautiful. Then it starts to count. So when you rent, your brain automatically categorizes your life as a draft. Preface, a placeholder. You tell yourself that this is not the real version of you yet, and this is just where you're staying for now. You say to yourself, oh, I'll invest later. I'll decorate later. I'll take myself seriously later. But later has a way of never quite arriving. Your apartment feels hollow not because you don't own it. It feels hollow because you were taught not to author it. Let's talk a little bit about why these rentals feel so cold and empty, right? Because modern rentals are not neutral environments. They're kind of designed around resisting attachment and are optimized for speed of turnover, legal safety, and surface level appeal to as many people as possible. That's why they have white walls and flat lighting, cheap finishes. They have no ornament, no texture, no shadows, and most of all, no memory. They're built to survive tenants and not reflect them. And when a space has no memory, the nervous system behaves differently when you're inside of it. You never fully soften and you never fully arrive, and you don't fully settle in that space, and you're constantly surrounded by a room that doesn't feel like you. So renters do the one thing that they are taught to do: decorate, but lightly. A throw pillow, a couple frames on the wall, a plant, a candle, and just enough personality to pass inspection, but not enough to leave a trace. And then they wonder why their apartment still feels like a hotel. Because decorating is not the same thing as customizing. Decorating is surface and customization is structure. Decorated rooms perform, but customized rooms are memorable. And renters are especially encouraged to perform and not to create a memorable space. So the goal of this video is not to just make your apartment cute. It's to help you claim authorship over it. The first lie that renters are told is that you cannot change your walls. They say you can't make an impact unless you paint, you can't create depth unless you're drilling into the wall, and you can't customize anything unless you're causing damage. Well, none of that is true. So number one, because a lot of designers and decorators actually don't work with walls. I have plenty of clients who are renters and they often say, oh, I can't paint, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I can't do that. And it's actually so easy to work around and nobody has any idea. If you're not able to work with your walls, instead work with layers of perception, because your brain does not experience drywall directly. It experiences boundaries, interruptions, softness, and shadows. So when you hang a giant piece of artwork that spans an entire wall, the wall is no longer flat. And when you install floor-to-ceiling curtains across a blank surface, the architecture will suddenly start to change. And if you hang a really cool, unique fabric panel behind your bed, you almost get a kind of false headboard, a fake layer of construction, and a sense of intention that didn't exist before. So many apartments have these really mismatched windows that are just kind of off or just look kind of weird and are not centered to the actual apartment. And the best thing that you can do here, like I was talking about, is install floor to ceiling drapes across the entire wall. I lived in an apartment and the walls were literally made out of plastic where the windows were. I know. Bad. And I did this and it instantly elevated the space and made it feel so much better. So please take that into consideration if that is an issue that you're having. But anyways, you want to tell your brain that the surface is no longer institutional. It's no longer empty, it's no longer provisional, and now belongs to a design narrative. The second moment that renters experience that changes everything is when they realize they're allowed to change the hardware. You can change your cabinet handles, your drawer pulls, towel bars, or toilet paper holders. These are the first places in your home that your body physically meets the architecture of your space. When they feel cheap, it doesn't feel good to the touch. And when they feel intentional and nice, you'll feel so much more calm in your space because you're interacting with that stuff on a daily basis. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is lighting, because this makes the biggest difference in any space. Overhead lighting is not just ugly, it's also psychologically aggressive. It removes shadows, it flattens faces, and it kind of feels like you're constantly being surveilled. It reminds your body of institutional places like a school or a hospital or like a retail store. Like these places are where you're kind of being managed and not being comforted or held. And to the human psyche, lamps behave like a campfire. They signal safety, they signal rest, pacing, intimacy, and presence. One lamp can be decorative, but if you have 3 or 4 in the same room, it creates an atmosphere. If your apartment feels really tense and off, it might be important to consider the lighting temperature that you're using. And to be honest, it probably needs some softer light. And I'm not saying everything needs to be bright orange, okay? But you want to make sure that all the light bulbs in your space are under 3000 kelvins. This will create that really beautiful and soft light that people look the best in and that you will feel the best in emotionally. This is my favorite little rental secret that I think people just don't realize, and that is that built-ins will change the game. And I know what you're saying, Cooper, you can't build in built-ins to a rental. And yes, I'm very much aware of that, but one of the best ways to help ground your apartment is to incorporate large-scale vintage pieces. So this could be an antique hutch, it could be a console table, it could be floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, even if they're from IKEA. You want to create that illusion of character that might not be there with the original architecture. 2 bookcases flanking a wall will tell you that the room feels composed. You know, a long bench under some mirrors will make things feel so much more structural and unique. And one of my favorite things to do if you don't have a lot of closet space is to fake built-in wardrobes. I do this in my client projects all the time, and we'll just get a couple really big wardrobes from IKEA and then paint them the same color as the walls, and it instantly makes the space feel so much better. It'll ground it, it'll make it feel like it's built in, and really give you that element of customized woodwork that you might not have to begin with. I wanted to talk to you guys about peel and stick. This is a little bit of a controversial topic because you either love it or you really hate it. But honestly, I think it's just misunderstood to begin with. If you're using peel and stick wallpaper that obviously has seams and obviously shows itself as temporary, that is not going to look good. Your space is going to look bad, it's going to look temporary, and it's not going to feel nice to you. But if you use peel and stick intentionally in spaces that are a little bit more enclosed, it will really make a big difference. For example, if you have a really ugly kitchen counter or kitchen cabinets, you can peel and stick them into something beautiful. I was actually just watching a video from Benji Plant. Some of you guys might know him, but he's another interior design content creator here on YouTube. I was watching his apartment tour, and he lives in a really blank white apartment, and he covered his entire blank white kitchen in this faux wood contact paper, and it looks beautiful. You just have to make sure that if you're going to do this, you need to do it right, because you can't half do contact paper or else it's just going to look horrible. You need to commit to it, you need to make sure it looks nice, and it really needs to bring in something interesting and something that's not going to look too out of place. For example, I don't want to see fake checkerboard tile contact paper on your backsplash. Like, that's just not going to look good. The other big problem with renting is that people try and speed run the process. They buy immediately, they commit immediately, and lock in an overall look immediately because they're trying to outrun this feeling of impertinence. But design is slow on purpose because it's something that requires trial and error, editing the space as you live in it. Rooms that are finished way too fast always feel super fragile, and rooms that take their time feel inevitable. You shouldn't be waiting for your real life to begin. You are already in it, and your home will not feel real until you start treating it as such. Every object that you bring into a rental should pass a simple internal test. Will it leave cleanly? Will it live longer than my lease? And will it actually improve the way that I move through my day? Because if something is only performing online or on Pinterest, it is not for your life, trust me. And rooms do not feel finished just because they match, okay? I don't want to see any matchy. I don't like it. They feel finished because they hold memories, and memory takes time, and time takes permission. You are allowed to root where you stand, even if the ground shifts a little bit later. You are allowed to make your space feel beautiful, even if it's not permanent. It's about making the space feel like you and making it feel the best to you while you're in it. Because if you think about it like this, right now is the time that you will have the longest amount of time left in your space that you're currently in. So just think about that a little bit, and you can act now. It doesn't have to be a full remodel, but just try and incorporate some of the things that I've talked about. And of course, if you're struggling with your own space, you can always hire me as your interior decorator. I would absolutely love to help you no matter how big or small your project is. You can find a ton of really great information about it on my website and click the link in the description to book a consultation. I have a new one under construction very soon, and it's really exciting. It's going to have inspiration pages, a lot more detail on the design projects I've worked on, and so much more about the whole design process. I hope you guys are having a great day, whatever day you're watching this. And I will be here every Thursday and Sunday at 6 a.m. PST. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon.